Reverend and Fox News contributor Jesse Lee Peterson was on Fox News recently on the Hannity show, and he basically reiterated the notion that one of America's biggest problems or mistakes was allowing women to vote. Now, back in March, he was giving a sermon, and during that sermon, he first talked about why it's such a horrible idea for women to be given the right to vote. Let's watch.
There are a few out there that are logical women that can make sound decisions, but most cannot. Women cannot handle power. It's not in them to handle power in the right way. Men are so weak, they've been so intimidated, that they allow these women to just run wild and screw up everything. One of the greatest mistakes that America made was to allow women the opportunity to vote. Wherever women are taking over, evil reigns. And the women who know that I'm right, you got to speak up about this too.
I feel like I know that my response should be I'm outraged, but that was so much like an SNL skit to me that I can't help but just laugh.
That was amazing.
That was the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
He's like, what else are women bad at? Driving.
They're just running wild.
Who's in that room?
Look at me, I'm just running wild right now. That's what I'm doing.
Oh yeah, who's in that room? Who's like, is there anyone going, that sounds about right? I get it. Women. He's just like, women be shopping. It's insane.
It was insane, okay?
What else did he say? He said, and this was probably the reason they didn't allow women to vote when men were men. Which, the worst part about that is what are men now? Men must be women. And that's the worst thing. That's horrible.
So this guy is, by the way, we've had him on the program before, so go to TYT interviews on YouTube and check it out, because he says some asinine things about African Americans as well, by the way. However, you would assume that someone as questionable as Reverend Jesse Lee Peterson wouldn't be a contributor to any news network. But of course, he's a contributor for Fox News, because that's what Fox News does.
No, don't you see? I want him a contributor to my life, because when I get bored, I'll be like, just say something, anything. This guy, crazy Uncle Jesse over here, crazy Uncle Jesse. Like Full House, but way more sexist.
Yeah, absolutely. So he was actually recently on Hannity. So Sean Hannity, regardless of what Jesse Lee Peterson has said in the past, decides to continue having him on the show as a contributor. And there was a woman on the panel, and hilarity ensued. Let's watch.
I think that most Americans know that liberal women are destroying the family.
You said women.
They hate men. They hate society as it is.
That is absolutely false. Sean, do I hate men?
Even when they're...
You're a pastor. You are a pastor distorting God's word for misogyny, for misogynist purposes. What do you mean? When you say women are just... You leave a woman alone in charge of a family and she destroys the family?
We allowed the National Organization of Women Who Hate Men to come in years ago.
You're not answering anything
the Women Live group. We left them alone.
There's no such thing as the National Organization.
We left them alone. There is.
That's not
there is an order to life. It is true. Liberal women policies are bad for family. They're bad for the country.
Now I got to take a break.
They're bad for America.
Okay.
I love how he goes and is like, he's not like, okay, first you're ridiculous. He's like, I got to take a break. We'll do this again in like 2 minutes.
I know. No, that's a great point. And another thing is, if you guys pay close attention, in the first video, he just says women, like blanket statement. But now he's on Fox News, so he has to make sure he emphasizes liberal women, right? So these liberal women, they're running wild.
They are running wild. I didn't realize that it was the National Organization. I just thought it was just National Organization of Women. I didn't realize the full name was National Organization of Women Who Hate Men. That's a great realization. Also, we have this article from Raw Story you gave me that says, he's a Tea Party activist and friend of Sean Hannity.
Yes, so he is friends with Sean Hannity, which is very interesting. That's probably one of the reasons why he's on as a contributor. And also, here's an interesting fact about Sean Hannity. So Jesse Lee Peterson has an organization known as the Brotherhood Organization of a New Destiny, right? So he's a Tea Party activist, misogynist, racist, like every bad thing you can possibly imagine. And Sean Hannity serves as an advisor on Bond's board. Okay, so he's part of that organization. So it's incredible to me how anyone can look at Fox News as a reliable news source.
I love that a guy that espouses these things, the name of his organization is Brotherhood Organization of a New Destiny. First of all, that's insane. It's like there's nothing in there about how women are stupid. I guess brotherhood and sisterhood's not okay. I just don't know what it takes to be Sean Hannity's friend. What's the screening process that you have to go through? Like
you have to make sure you hate women. But liberal women, make sure you emphasize liberal women.
I just wonder if like you show up at his house and you're like, thank you for having me. And he's like, you're being polite and showing decency. Get out of here. Come in here, man who stabbed someone. You can hang out and have some Jell-O.